Tuesday, August the 18th, 2009. And next up we have Mr. Lupe Chavez Jr.
Mayor, commissioners, department heads, and FAR residents attendance tonight or watching later on Channel 12. I come here today to let you know how one person can make a difference. When I was a reporter for the Monitor in the 1990s and earlier this decade, I sat down with Kika de la Garza, a longtime U.S. representative, and the late great federal judge Filemon Vela. When I was sitting there, I realized how far I had come from the streets of Las Milpas. The muddy streets, walking to school, walking to the bus. Those infectious mosquitoes, the loose dogs, the tacuaches. So I realized I'd come a long way. And I remember sitting there. These guys were like Gandhi and Martin Luther King. They had, Kika de la Garza, all that change he made in the U.S. government, and Filemon Vela as a federal judge. And he asked me, what school did you go to? And I said, the University of Southern California, the Trojans, O.J. Simpson School. I wanted to know what these guys thought about O.J. Simpson case, was the trial of the century. And Kika, he was an attorney. He graduated from St. Mary's. He said, I don't believe how they can find him not guilty. I mean, he murdered those people. And the Judge Vela looked at him and said, Counselor, a reasonable doubt. They didn't prove that case beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are the things that I learned, that one person can make a difference. And Kika has been one of my heroes. I met him at PSJ North where, no offense, I don't see Joe here, but there he is. I think the class of 95 was the best one. And there, Mr. Farias, you did make a difference. Now all your old students, we're attorneys, engineers, managers, teachers, parents. We even have a student who's a casting director, and, I recommend you go see Shorts and the Gamer movie. J.C. Cantu, I think he's the casting director on those. You made a positive impact there, Mr. Farias. You were a 5-star Texas monthly school. And after you left, unfortunately, that school did suffer. The students threw bananas at a principal. One student was arrested for protesting. And we were trying to get the board to see about this bad leadership there. Unfortunately, one person did make a difference. That school, the reputation was tarnished, when we lost that young student there. I don't know anyone more influential than Santa Claus. I believe, Mr. Cortez, you dress up as him. And I met your son at Liberty Middle School when I was a coach there. And he was a mentor to me. And, it was a tremendous loss to our school when he did leave for Edinburgh, I believe. Because, I always blame the lack of leadership in mentoring athletes at Liberty, for the death of one of our students on Cage Avenue. And actually, I didn't even know this, but, I do believe the former Mayor A.C. Jaime is here. And, the city of FAR is 100 years old, but the city that we know, it's really not that old. A lot of things changed after one riot, one ranger, and Mr. Jaime, along with other people probably in this room, you shaped a new city. And I am here today, to let you know that one person can make a difference. Unfortunately, today we have, 2 individuals making a negative impact on our city. I did bring this to the concern of Mr. Sandoval, the city attorney, and Chief Viescas. I personally witnessed a police officer violating a person's civil rights, civil liberties in Las Milpas. And dirty police officers are like Tony Roma's barbecue ribs. They're like those spicy hot wings. Is that, you eat it, but you still get it over your fingers and your face, and you try and wash it off, but it doesn't come off. And that's what bad police officers are when they violate their oath. And I do want to thank the city for addressing that concern and taking care of that, because a bad police officer, one that breaks the law, will do anything, and it is important to protect our community. The second thing I'd like to talk about is that on Channel 12, there's been negative comments about Las Milpas. One of the footage there is it's Gary Rodriguez unfortunately it's him on the images, is that he went to our community to look for trash, and he calls us the bad and the ugly. And this is something about, keeping your irrigation canals and everything else clean. And really, I'm offended by that. Those images, those negative images are from my part of the community, where the school district doesn't even clean up its weedy lots. And a lot of those problems are because of code enforcement. There's a lack of code enforcement in Las Milpas, and really all that can be attributed to the city. The city has to look after that, and not to blame everything on our citizens. I don't think anyone in in this audience would like, their children to be called trash or their community to be trash, and my drainage was plugged up, by city construction crews who did the paving of that street. They just put all the dirt into the drainage. It wasn't even our fault. It was the construction crews. They put all that trash. They just swept it in there, and nobody looked after it. And that's nothing new. Is that construction people don't look after stuff. After all, the new school is being built on top of an old gas well. Oops, nobody saw it. But I do thank you for your time, and thank you for the work you have done for our community. Thank you.
Now, Las Milpas is a colonia. It's South Par. And I don't want those people to forget that they are South Par. They're not Las Milpas. I was here in 1988 when we took him in, and look what we have today. I want that young man that was up there running down Gary Rodriguez because of the TV ad, what we have done to get South Park where it is today. 3 elementaries, a high school to be up pretty quick, and we have more there than what we have in the old town side. Now, it kind of bothers me, Mr. Jaime, that somebody comes up here and runs Gary Rodriguez because Leo Polo was your mayor, Hila Pedraza, city clerk. Alejandro, thank you so much, and I want to congratulate you and your mama and your papa. And Alejandro comes from South Par. Mr. Chavez, who was here, I don't know if he's related to you. No?
Congratulations.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to come before this board and address this board for or against items A, B, and C?
For the record, my name is Lupe Chavez. I live in Las Milpas, and I'd like to say for item A, Taco Rico, Mayor, that you guys should grant them this policy because you guys are so respectful. You guys were so respectful to me when I came up here, Mayor. I want to, let you know that I am a man, and if you would like to make public records on the comment, on record, and comment about me, I have a phone number. Mr. Sandoval has my phone number.
Mr. Chavez, you're here to talk about item A.
Item A.
And stay there, or
it.
I'm going to remove you from the public forum.
Yeah, of course. Would you please recommend them to sell alcohol at that property? Thank you, Your Honor.
Very professional. Is there anybody else? Good night. Is there anybody else? Is there anybody?